Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everybody. It's a great pleasure to be again in this AP-FECM seminar series. And today I have the pleasure to be the host of a very senior and important professor in the world of forestry from Beijing Forestry University, Dr. Juan Shi. She works on eco-friendly pest control, risk analysis, drone-based warning systems to prevent invasive or quarantine forest pests. So she's in the frontier of the use of artificial intelligence in many areas related to forestry and the environment. And she's going to talk today to us about how to use virtual simulation and large models in forestry education in China. So welcome and thank you for your time to share with us in this event.
Flexible, Tanika. I will share my talk, okay? Here. Okay. Okay, can you see my talk? Hello, everyone.
Yes, we can.
So we can see.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Juan Shi. I come from Beijing Forestry University. I'm very glad to have the opportunity to give a talk on the application of virtual simulation and large language model in forestry education in China. Against accelerated educational information initiative, China's forestry education is witness a historical transition from emphasize knowledge over practice to integrating knowledge with action. However, the inherent natural characteristic and ecological constraints of forestry education pose some challenges. The first challenge, I think, is field work difficulties, like remote locations, ecological sensitivity, and some maybe involve some safety hazards problem, and high costs. The second challenge is low engagement, like scarce practical opportunities, minimal personalization, and weak immersion. The second challenge, I think, is complex ecosystem are poorly converted through traditional instruction, where makes the teaching become much abstract. The last challenge, I think, is we need a rigid assessment. Now we're lacking the formative evaluation and skill feedback. To overcome the traditional methods in practical application, interactivity, and ecological literacy while enhancing students' ecological practice competency and system thinking. The integration of virtual simulation and large language models, the shortened term is LLM, has emerged as a critical pathways. So this AI-enabled and immersive learning environments simultaneously address three strategic objectives: evaluating teaching quality, stressing ecological awareness, and driving transformative change in forestry education. Now let's focus on the integration of virtual simulation and AI assistance in forestry education research. Virtual simulation technology that include VR, AR, 3D, enable the digital reconstruction of authentic forest ecosystem, enabling safe hands-on ecology training through immersive see, interact, explore experience. This allows researchers, teachers, and students to simulate field operations such as wildfire suppression, or maybe sometimes the pest infestation diagnostic without constructs of safety hazards or geographic accessibility. Complement this large language model driven AI assistants provide intelligent research supported by decoding specialized forestry terminology, such as what's a stat structure, what's an ecological niche, this is term, okay? Deliver real-time analytic where natural language interaction. So the key research driving advantage, or we can call key benefits, include solve impractical field work challenge, deepens conceptual understanding, delivering personalized, immersive, plus intelligent learning, and so on. So this integration drives forestry education toward a smarter and more systematic development way. Let's explore three innovation or three parts reshaping forestry education with AI. First, I want to talk about virtual physical integration training program. We develop a realistic scenario to supply high-risk field work, like forest fire management, pest diagnosis. This solve exercise gaps for practice like forest measuration or paywood nematode detection. I can give you these three parts laterly. First, I talk about the first one. I will give some case study to explain how we work, how we run the virtual physical integration training. First case is a forest measuration course of our university, Beijing Forestry University. As for a traditional forest measuration experiments, there have some difficulties. First is strict logging policies. Now China has a very, very strict policy. This policy makes we want to get or we want to obtain the permits for educational tree filing nearly impossible. We can't cut the trees freely. It's limiting hands-on learning opportunities. The second difficulty is safety risk. Safety risk prevents students from practical tree felling techniques, as the work requires professional certification. Another difficulty is irreversible procedure. That means that any mistake during cross-section sampling will ruin the entire experiment. So it makes it costly and unrepeatable. So in order to solve this problem, we develop a virtual simulation experiment plan for forest measuration. I prepared two videos. We can compare the field operation and the virtual operation. This is traditional forest measuration field operations. Okay, I think I can click. So we cut down the tree. It has some safety risk. Okay, you can see sometimes students can't do such kind of work. We should find some local labor to help us. And later we will measure it and do some cross-section disc stemless work, okay? And this one, I just want to show you some part of our feature simulation work, okay?
Select the tape measure. Measure diameter at breast height.
So we developed this plot. We can input the reading when after we measured some factors. And if the reading is correct, we can continue to do other works.
Select the tape measure. Measure the crown weight.
This shows how to measure the crown wings.
Input the reading.
You also can input your reading. So students only can use keyboard and mouse to carry out the experiment. And choose the tools.
Locate the observation point.
You can locate the observation point.
Input the reading. Select the forestry clinometer. Measure the north-south direction. Select the chainsaw. Fell the analytical tree.
You can file the analytical tree.
Select the tape measure.
You also can select the tape to measure the crown vertices and the tree head.
Input the reading. Measure the height to that branch face. Input the reading. Measure the height to leaf branch face. Input the reading. Remove lateral branches. Select pruning shears. Measure the total stem length. Input the reading. Select the tape measure. Measure segmental diameters.
So that's just shows you cut the wood into the segments and get the log section.
Input the reading.
And measure the diameter of the log segments.
The reading is correct. Measure segmental diameters. Input the reading. The reading is correct. Measure segmental diameters. Input the reading. Cut a stem disc.
Okay, so
select a chainsaw. Segment the tree trunk.
okay, so now we can get the disc. Then we can continue to do cross-section disc stem analyze work. In vitro simulation experiments, we have independently developed a vitro simulation experiment for tree growth process with 3D modeling, animation, and human-computer interaction technology to authentically recreate operation simulation, field work vitro simulation of selection of wood and analyze and laboratory vitro simulating measurement during growth process of trees. So this breakthrough has progressively overcome the difficulties I just mentioned. Another example comes from Northeast Forestry University. The course name is Forest Fair Ecology and Management. You can see for forest fair ecology and management experiments also have some limitations. I think compare with the last case is more dangerous, where the fair exceed unpredictable intensity and uncontrollability. I think we think is the first limitation. The second one, field demonstration also can't be replicated or controlled, failing to provide systematic learning or complete fair behavior process. Another limitation is diverse firefighting tools require complex operational skills and secure training environments. The last limitation is fair suppression involve intricate decision making, like weather analysis, career assessment, and crew deployment. So we also established virtual simulation technology to solve this problem. I also translated this part of simulation procedure to share with you.
Effectively solves the problems of high danger at the forest fire site, wide impact winds, difficulty in reproduction, difficulty in approaching, inability to realize on-site teaching and other problems, makes practical teaching more intuitive, more secure and guaranteed. The virtual environment of the forest fire site has a sense of immersion. The use of this experimental project enables students to understand the deduction of forest fire situations, prediction of forest fire behavior, use of firefighting equipment, knowledge and operational skills of firefighting command decision-making, make targeted adjustments and improvements, strengthen skill mastery, enrich teaching methods, shorten the learning cycle, explore students' original skill practice abilities during the experiment process. Effectively.
So this VR-based teaching system creates highly realistic forest fair scenarios through 3D modeling and interactive technology, achieving three core objectives: equipment training. Students can learn in firefighting tools through 3D assembly demonstrated and virtual operation practice. Another one is a fair behavior study. We can adjust the weather and the terrain parameters which will allow observation of how wind, slope, and vegetation affect the fair spread. Another one is multi-role coordination trainers develop emergency decision-making skills. So we built an integrated teaching system of theory experiment practice to avoid the risk of real-time teaching, stressing students' practical training experience, controllable, repeatable, and accessible for the fair prevention teaching, and significantly improve students' professional quality and emergency command ability. Another example also comes from our university. This course is Yanshan Mountain Geological Evolution. Simultaneously, it also have some limitations. We can't do the traditional course very well. The first one is safety risk. This experiment requires working in a tectonically active area, like fault scarps, folded mountains, with hazards like steep slope collapse, falling rocks, and sudden flash floods. Inexperienced students conducting sampling or observation in complex terrain are prone to accidents due to operational errors. Second limitation is where the Yanshan movement occurred over hundreds of millions of years and shaped North China's mountain landscape. Teaching experiment can only capture static monometry snapshots. Students struggle to understand the cross-scale coupling between slow tectonic process and rapid erosion through short-term observations. Another limitation is irreversible disturbance. Human intervention, like specimen collection, tramping outcrops, it will damage fragile geological heritage and accelerate the natural weathering. It verifies theories like Yanshan magmatic intrusion by Camming rocks may permanently destroy the key geological evidence. It violating minimal intervention research ethics. Thus, soil water conservation and desertification prevention program can't effectively conduct a real-world geomorphology evaluation experiment. They must expand online teaching resources like virtual simulation experiments to complement physical training through virtual physical integration, ensure complete and feasible experiment teaching. I also select one part of our virtual simulation experiment. I just want to show you how it worked.
Observe valley development stage. Rock sampling. Lithological identification of rock specimens using multiple tools. Answer: granite. Continue selecting observation points. Rock sampling. Lithological identification of rock specimens using multiple tools. Answer: granite. Continue selecting observation points followed by sampling. Rock sampling. Lithological identification of rock specimens using multiple tools. Answer question. Selection of Aeolian erosion observation points in the middle reaches. Data altitude measurement using a geological compass, strike, deep direction, and deep angle. Rock sampling. Lithological identification of rock specimens using multiple tools. Geological observation of the delta. Determination of dam construction site.
So they want to find a good position, good location where we can establish our dam. So this site is correct. So finally, we established the dam.
Implement soil and water conservation measures.
Okay, here we go. So the simulation design focus on the geological evolution of the Yanshan movement, establish a comprehensive watershed scale virtual laboratory, simulation of watershed evolution during the Yanshan movement, based on a marine carbonate rocks from 1.85 to 0.8 million years ago. It reconstruct tectonic deformation and fossil preservation process triggered by the Yanshan movement. Secondly, geological structure and landform evaluation integration tectonic, sedimentary, and weather factors. It reproduce landform changes from the Precambrian to Quaternary periods. This is for the impact, human impact and global change. This part is for impact of human activities and global change. We use spatial comparison technology. It condenses large-scale erosion deposition process and atherogenic effects into a teachable platform, simulating billion-year geological process within 6 class hours. High competence H, where balance the long-term predictability and instructional practicality. More case study. This experiment teaching is pavilled disease diagnosis and pathogenic determination. Also faces many challenges. The first challenge is they need more time. They need a very long time to finish this part of experiment. The last diagnostic procedure involve field survey, sample collection, nematode isolation, we should isolate nematode from the wood, okay? So morphological identification and molecular identification and pathogenicity testing, so make the comprehensive coverage difficulty within limited class hours. Another challenge lies in non-repeatable experiments, sample procession, and pathogenicity tests are mostly irreversible, preventing standardized retraining after operational errors and limited students' practical opportunities. The third challenge lies in site limitation, field sampling, infected wood heading, and inoculation experiment require specialized lab spaces, quarantine facilities, and equipment that most universities, especially those in non-epidemic area, we can't do such kind of experiment in non-epidemic area in China. Another challenge is high risk as a major quarantinable forest disease involving infected wood and living nematodes. Traditional training process operation hazards and potential biological invasion risks that can't be fully mitigated. So I also want to compare with the traditional how we separate, how we isolate the nematode from the wood we collect from the field to show the difference between real world and the virtual simulation scenario. First, let me see how we can isolate the nematode in my laboratory.
Prepare a glass funnel waste. Attach a latex tube to the bottom end
This
of
is a biomass funnel model.
Fill with clean water and ensure no liquid leaks from the end of the stopcock. Process wood pieces into sticks. Cut to layers of appropriately sized gauze, or use facial tissue to wrap the wood stick. Place the wrapped wood sticks into the funnel, ensuring the water submerges the wrapped bundle completely. Label each separated sample. After soaking for 24 hours, open the stopcock to collect the
at least 24
for
hours.
testing.
Okay, we compare with this.
Plug the rubber tube at the bottom of the glass funnel to stop the water flow. Split the suspected infected wood disc into thin strips. Wrap the wood strips with tissue paper and place them into the funnel. Add water. Let it stand for 24 hours at 20 Celsius. Collect nematodes for identification. Observe the population changes of Versicolentris stylophilus. Add varying amounts of water. Observe the population changes of Versicolentris stylophilus.
So you have collected the enough paired nematodes, then you can continue to do some identification work.
Prepare a glass funnel waste.
So this platform contains 3 core models The first model is disease recognition. It covers simple terms, what they look like in field, okay? Transmission patterns and sampling protocol. The second model is disease diagnosis. How you get the nematode? Use the Behrman funnel technique. I just show you, and the morphological and molecular identification methods, and the Curtis pastoralist verification. Third model is pathogenic testing, simulated wood inoculation procedure, natural infection process, and investigate host susceptibility and inoculation concentration and environment factors who will affect the parvovirus disease. So this integrated theory skills application teaching system address limitations of traditional training methods, including safety risks, facility requirements, and poor repeatability, where developing students' diagnostic thinking, comprehensive analysis capabilities, and scientific inquiry skills. The last case is entomology. I am talking about entomology experiment also encounter some challenges. The first challenge is some key development stages, life stages, like egg hatching, pupa metamorphosis, can't be reversed or fully demonstrated in traditional labs, hindering comprehensive understanding. Another challenge is when we use a microscope. Okay, conventional microscope fails to clearly show internal structure like digestive system, maybe reproductive system, with no option for review or detailed observation of critical stages. Another challenge is specimen limitation. Specimen specimen acquisition depends on seasons, maybe have some season or regions limitation, limited equipment availability, restricting large-scale training, especially sometimes we need a living specimen. Poor reproductivity. Non-standardized specimen and conditions create inconsistent learning experience. It will affect the teaching's quality. So we also developed a virtual simulation technology, can address these issues by reconstructing development process visually while compensating for some physical resource shortage. This VR-based entomology teaching platform compares 3D modeling and interactive technology to create realistic simulations for insect morphology learning, including internal and external structures, development and physiology learning, and classification and identification training, enhancing observation and training efficiency safely. It enhances morphological and classification skills through repeatable training, which can improve professional competence. I also share one part of it to you. This is the lobster.
Body observation.
First, we observe the body.
Separate the forewings and hind wings. Dissect the abdomen. Isolate the insect's intestinal system. head observation. Remove the antennae, compound eyes, and mouth parts.
For the mouth part, I think it's upper lip, lower lip, mandible, maxilla, and as the last part, I think it's the tongue. Yeah, so you can know the three mouth parts. Oh, okay, so this is just one part of it. Okay, till now I finished the first innovation. The second innovation, reshaping forestry education with AI, is smart teaching assessment system. AI tracks students' performance and data to fill knowledge gaps, give personalized feedback, and enable targeted interventions. We can form a closing the loop from learning to assessment. So first, we can see the data from forest measuration course. Whole process behavior data collection. This term tracks the entire 14-step interactive procedure in real time. It recording students' knowledge mastery, operation skills, and data handling throughout each stage. Each step has predefined operational requirements and scoring criteria. If you, for example, if you finish the sample tree selection, you get 2 points, okay? If you finish disc cutting and labeling, you got 4 points. And if you can get the growth calculation and analysis, you get the 16 points. Based on whole process behavior data collection, predefined standards for each operational step are evaluated through a comprehensive assessment of operation standardization, data accuracy, and result completeness, generated a tiered quantitative score, excellent, passing, and failing, different levels of grade. So this platform features whole process behavior tracking, recording students' knowledge, mastery, operational skills, and data handling in real time. Since the platform launched in 2024, it has served 225 students from forestry related majors like forestry major, forest protection major, urban forestry major, and so on. This platform effectively supports forestry students cultivation by improving skills and foster innovation. Another data comes from the pest disease diagnosis course. You can see this teaching evaluation system for pest disease diagnosis and nematode pathogenic assessment tracks student performance across 3 models. I just have show you, okay, disease recognition, occupy 10%, diagnosis, occupy 50%, and pathogenic testing, occupy 14%. It records detailed operational data from simple term identification to molecular analysis with specific scoring for each step. The scoring mechanism evaluate operational standardization, data accuracy, and result competence through 3 achievement levels. Full 10% score for flawless execution, partial for minor errors, and non-achievement for critical failures. So this term automatically analyze error patterns and score distribution to identify learning gaps and enable targeted improvements, create a closed loop assessment framework for comprehensive skills evaluation. Okay, so the third part, the third innovation reshaping for education with AI, we call it next gen teaching synergy. Teachers focus on in-class guidance. AI handles after-class tasks, including Q&A, question and answer, grading, feedback, something like that. I will take Niu Xingxing, a virtual teaching assistant, as an example. The forest pest control virtual teaching team, we belong to this team, okay? This team, our team partnered with eFlyTech to develop Niu Xingxing, an AI virtual teaching assistant modeled after the destructive Asian longhorn beetle. So I think you should heard about this ALB. The scientific name is Onoflora glabrans. This initiative tool provides real-time answers to student questions about the pest control and can identify different insect species from photos while explain their biology and how to control it, how to manage it, by linking textbook concepts with real-world example through interactive knowledge gaps. Niu Xingxing, that AI assistant, creates an engaging learning experience that helps students better understand forest ecosystem and develop practical pest management skills through hands-on digital interaction. I also want to share you with a demo video. It's more vivid.
Forest pest control, virtual teacher function effects demo. Hello everyone, I am Niu Xingxing, the virtual teaching assistant for the course Forest Pest Control. My hands-on image is designed based on the forest protection measures supported by the virtual teaching and research office and the characteristics of the course. This is my prototype, an important forest insect, Anaplophora glabrapanus. I can rely on large models to assist teachers, especially young teachers, in intelligent lesson preparation, and leapfrog to improve the efficiency of lesson preparation and teaching quality. The course Forestry Pest Control is a national first-class undergraduate course led by Beijing Forestry University and jointly built and shared by more than 20 universities across the country. The connotation of the course is about the theories and technologies for the prevention and control of forest diseases and pests, focusing on cultivating tree doctors. As a virtual teaching assistant, I have great capabilities. First, I can assist Professor Niu, the virtual teaching teacher, in sorting out the knowledge points of this course, key and difficult points, and the hierarchy of the knowledge system. Second, I can also realize the application of the integrated interdisciplinary knowledge base by accessing and calling the virtual teaching and research platform, greatly providing rich and accurate information for teachers' lesson preparation and the teaching process, and setting up personalized knowledge bases. Therefore, with unique professional characteristics, I will also assist teachers in generating teaching plans, making teaching PowerPoints, enriching classroom models, and improving students' interest and efficiency in learning. Take the section on the development and application of sex pheromones for pests. In this course, as an example, based on the adaptive learning platform of the virtual teaching assistant, it can generate different levels of knowledge graphs that reflect logical relationships, and can also, according to different students, mastery of knowledge points, customize personalized learning plans for students, thus enabling teachers to devote more energy to teaching and academic activities. Teachers can also use the intelligent QA tool of the virtual teaching assistant to quickly query the relevant content of a certain knowledge point, such as scientific research, progress, and interesting knowledge points, greatly improving the efficiency of teachers' lesson preparation. Next, I will leave you all to watch the virtual teacher as explanation of two knowledge points. One is the various ways of communication between male and female insects. The second is the development and application of sex pheromones for Eugistia hippophycula. Please enjoy the teaching style of Professor Niu, the virtual teacher. How do male and female insects communicate? Take human communication as an example. At close range, people can use voice, dialogue, and body movement, and use vision, hearing, smell, touch, etc. to receive and transmit information. At long distances, they can use tools such as mobile phones and emails for communication. Insects, under different circumstances, also have various communication methods. At close range, they can use vision. For example, the abdomen of a firefly has a luminescent organ that can emit yellow-green light. For different species of fireflies, the shape, spectral color of the luminescent organ, and parameters such as the movement trajectory of the light code are all different. The light code is species-specific. Male and female fireflies of the same species communicate by relying on the light code. The video in the upper right corner shows the light codes of 3 different species of fireflies in North America. Another example is using hearing. The first is the chirping sound of summer cicadas, which is produced by the vibration of the cicada's sound-producing organ. The second sound is the sound signal emitted by weevil during courtship. To attract each other. The third sound is the sound emitted during the communication of camel crickets. They can also use touch and taste. For example, during the mating process of the monogamous alternators, the male relies on its legs, antennae, the touch and taste of the maxillary palps and labial palps to find and lock onto a mate. Take Egoistia hippoficus, which has a generation every 4 years, as an example. The courtship and mating of them have obvious rhythmicity. The peak emergence period is at 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. The peak courtship period is from 9 to 10 o'clock at night. The peak mating period is round 9:30 at night. From this, it is inferred that the release time of the sex pheromone of the Egoistia hippoficus is around 9 o'clock at night. The results of trapping experiments show that unmated virgin female moths have extremely strong courtship ability and extremely strong attraction ability to male moths. At the same time, the female moths have the foundation and conditions for the development and application of sex pheromones. For Egoistia hippoficus, therefore, only the sex pheromones of unmated female moths can be used for the development of sex pheromones. We summarize through an animation the biological process of virgin female moths of Egoistia hippoficus during male moths. The adult lifespan of Egoistia hippoficus is only 5 to 7 days. No need for supplementary nutrition. Sexually mature when emerging, after the female moths emerge. The sex pheromones released by virgin female moths have a very strong long-distance luring ability for male moths, attracting male moths for mating, and they only mate once in their lifetime. Therefore, they have the comprehensive characteristics for the development and application of sex pheromones. Thanks for watching.
So, till now, I have finished these 3 innovation parts by emerging virtual physical integration, teaching assessment unity, and human AI collaboration. We are building an immersive, intelligent forestry education system for modern talents. However, we meet some challenge. I think the current challenge, first challenge is superficial technology synergy. Current teaching program often use visual simulation and large language models separately, lacking immersive environments, multimodal perception, and cognitive reasonary integration. The second challenge is deficient standardization ecosystem. We lack a standardized protocol for curriculum design. Maybe every university have a different design. We need the data, sharing the data, and evaluate handles resource efficiency and collaboration across different universities, different institutions, inadequate and adaptive and assessment. Current system lack robust behavior analysis, offering weak personalization and poor tracking. Not enough. Okay, and it's not enough of cognitive development. Another challenge is large language models reliability concerns. Key challenge remain in LM's data quality, output accuracy, and bias. So it requires strong validation for educational use. So emerging virtual and AI technology in forestry education face integration, standardization, and interoperability challenge that require targeted solutions for optimal teaching outcomes. What's the trend of future development? First, established an open sharing platform for forestry teaching resource, develop unified standards, build a virtual simulation and smart resource library covering key course, enable cross-school, cross-country sharing with regular updates. Next, build a virtual simulation plus AI teaching ecosystem. Combine forestry virtual simulation with large language models to support smart teaching for more adaptive learning. Third, train, implement an intelligent assessment and a feedback system, use real-time tracking of performance, cognition, and skills to enable full circle evaluations. Finally, advanced supporting forestry talent and national strategies align with national goals like smart forestry and eco-civilization, explore AI's role in enhancing education to meet industry needs, okay? So in summary, virtual simulation and AI will standardize resource, enable smart guidance, and boost the skill development in forestry education. This drives effective future-ready talent training for modern forestry and ecological development. Okay, so the last page I just show all the website. You can download all the visual simulation experiment from this website. That's all. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for time. Thank you.